Welcome. You're listening to The Govna. Like, share, comment, subscribe as I bring you all the up-to-date information on the Great Reset we're currently living in. This story comes from my local paper on June 14th, 2021, and it is about creating a space for Indigenous Canadians in 2 of our city parks. Quote, "This is a space built for the Indigenous community and to be used by the Indigenous community," said Niall Lobley, Kitchener's Director of Parks and Cemeteries. Now, I have no issue with Indigenous people. I think they have a lot of great ideas when it comes to living in harmony with the earth, and we could learn a lot from their cultures. What I don't understand is the apartheid nature of this article. It's set up with an us against them mentality, as is every article or story produced today that is centered around race and culture. Quote, "It is a space that will allow for gatherings to occur. The intent of the space is to allow Indigenous community members to come together for ceremonial, traditional, and teaching purposes, and land-based education. What the space would look like and where in the park is still unknown. A similar space is also planned for Waterloo Park." The thing that I take greatest issue with is that this seems exclusionary. It seems to me that tax dollars, that Natives pay significantly less of, are being used to create a space that isn't for everyone, but rather only one specific group of people. Doesn't that seem, dare I say, racist? The Indigenous community already currently enjoys access to any and all parks to do whatever they want with. Nobody is stopping them from setting up a weekly, bi-weekly, or daily meeting in any of these spaces to do ceremonies or teachings. They also have 37,000 square kilometers of their own designated reserve land to do whatever they want with, far from the prying eyes of the evil white man. In a presentation to a recent Kitchener Heritage Committee meeting, members were told the goal of the permanent space is to, quote, "improve parkland to better reflect the history and heritage of its original caretakers." I just have one question for the author of the article. Who has been maintaining these parks for the last 150 years? It's been Doug and Johnny with the equipment they invented. It's been the city residents paying the taxes to keep Doug and Johnny paid by the hour. Natives have not been the caretakers of our parks. Sorry, snowflakes, but that is just a fact. Quote, Donna Doobie, Executive Director of the Healing of the 7 Generations, said an Indigenous-centered space in both parks is a step in the right direction. Quote, "It's a good start, but they have a long way to go." Doobie said municipalities, like most levels of government, fear if they give a piece of land to the Indigenous communities, quote, "we are going to take more and more and more and take over the park. They never thought twice to take that land away from us. Now it's a fight to get it back." It's unreal. This, still quoting the newspaper here. "The cities and Indigenous community have been in discussions for more than a year. Last June, Land Back Camp started at Victoria Park as a gathering place and a safe space for Indigenous communities. They endured racial violence and vandalism, and then went to Waterloo Park in November. They recently moved to Laurel Creek Conservation Area in Waterloo." Gee, I wonder what they did all winter. Probably didn't camp out in the fucking park. Anyway, I had a feeling that it was going in this direction. These people are so self-unaware. They didn't get lambasted for being a racial minority. They got BTFO'd because nobody wants to see a tent city in their local park. If you know anything about one of my favorite political commentators, Salty Cracker, Land Back is now here in Canada. It doesn't matter if it's a bunch of dirty hippies, drug addicts, or natives. There are camping bylaws for a reason. It's an eyesore. It's a liability. These places breed stupidity in the form of drug abuse and rape. It's happened at Occupy Wall Street, Chaz, George Kirby Square, and every other autonomous land back zone America has created in the last 10 years. Quote, Lobley said municipalities need to do better in meeting the needs of Indigenous communities. Quote, meeting the needs. That's just a liberal way of saying bigger government, more free shit at the expense of the hardworking Canadian taxpayers. As I said before, the parkland exists. They are free to use it as they see fit. Just don't break any camping bylaws and everything will be fine. And that's how the article ends. If you liked it, finger bang that like button, comment down below, share, and most importantly, subscribe, as this is my first video that I'm doing with this new channel. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.